Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time brought us a three-dimensional Zelda universe to explore. It also brought us walking. Oh, good. You know, this is something that if you watched my World of Warcraft video where I complain about walking, you'll already know how I feel. But in case you missed that one, I don't like walking. Let me clarify, I don't like pointless walking. But you know what? The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time doesn't really have a lot of pointless walking. The amount of time it takes you to go from point A to point B is relatively short. Maybe not even a minute, a couple minutes. I never really did time it. And once you get Espona, it's even faster. So the travel time when you are walking or when you're riding, which is essentially fast walking, is forgivable and it's okay because there's not a lot of dead zones where you're just walking to walk. So it's alright. The rest of the game is wonderful. The top-down aspect is something I do miss. But bringing it to a three-dimensional realm allows you to have so many more things that you can do. One of the earlier puzzles the earliest puzzles require you to look up. And that's something that, you know, you have to get used to throughout the game, using the camera and looking up and all this sort of three-dimensional space that you didn't have to explore before. When this came out, was a completely new concept. Newer players nowadays would go and play this game and go, oh yeah, this is simple, because they already have all this figured out. But for those just going into this game, it was a completely new experience to see, hey, oh, I can look up, I can look down, I can look left and right. I'm not just limited to, you know, the top-down view. And so all that was there. There was some platforming. Link has to jump from one area to the next, but Link automatically jumps. You're not asked to press a certain button. You're just asked to gauge how far he can jump in those situations. So it's okay, it's forgivable. Once you got used to it, it wasn't horrible. And there's so much to do in this game. When you first exit the forest and you go to the open land of Hyrule, it's an amazing experience. It's like you have all this room to explore. And again, going back to that I don't like walking, well, here it was okay to walk because you were exploring this new vast area that you didn't have access to before. And there are things to do, there's hard pieces to find and whatnot, so it's not a completely dead area. Alright, so I like this game. It was really fun. You get to go between adult and child Link, and that mirrors what Link to the Past did, which was allow you to go from the Dark World to the Light World. So Ocarina of Time allows you to go between two different worlds and explore those two different worlds in two different ways. And in fact, one of my favorite dungeons is towards the end, is the desert dungeon that lets you interact both as a child and as an adult to conquer the dungeon. And that one I really like. I wish they'd done more of that throughout the game, but it's arguable that they did cover both adult and child Link fairly equal time throughout the game. And of course you have the water level. I hate the water level. Everybody hates the water level. It was so frustrating, so difficult. That level alone took me so long to beat. That's like the hardest level in the game. Like everything else, oh yeah, sure, simple. And then you get to that, it's like, good game, game over. The boss is easy, but the entire level leading up to the boss is just one huge giant maze, and it was very difficult because you're asked to navigate in three-dimensional space, something that's completely new. You're asked to do all these tasks, pushing switches, raising and lowering the water level to different levels of it. It was very frustrating, but I love the water level at the same time because it shows exactly what a Zelda game needs to be. It needs to be full of puzzles that are difficult to solve, but rewarding once you solve them. So, Ocarina of Time, awesome game, can't say enough good things about it. Now, just like the other video I had, I need to talk about the remake. Oh man, what is up with the remakes? Alright, so I didn't hate the remake. In fact, I love the remake. Master Quest really brings a new challenge to this game. But I can't understand why they did it. Well, that's not entirely true. They did it so that other players that didn't get to play it would get to play it again. And they did include the other Zeldas on a CD. There was a 4 Zelda CD that had Link 1, 2, and then Ocarina, and then Master Quest. And then, you know, I mean, they remade it. Basically, it's just the same game. All the dungeons are in the same locations, just the difficulty of the dungeons has been changed, and yeah, they are more difficult. The water temple is harder, but so is every other dungeon, so it was a new challenge. Master Quest was interesting. It didn't really add anything to me for the storyline. Just increased the difficulty, and that's fine. Enjoyable on its own merit of being a more difficult game. But my kind of question was why wasn't this included in the first place? Well, obviously they didn't think about it or plan for it. But this to me is basically playing Zelda 1 and then having the second quest in Zelda 1. So essentially you're playing Ocarina of Time and then you're playing Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Same idea. Although, why they didn't move the dungeon actual physical locations, maybe that was too difficult to do programming-wise. Okay, so next time will be Majora's Mask. Stay tuned.